Hi. I wanted to focus on my personal work today, and through stories, design proposals, and public installations, I wanted to talk about part of my work that involves and represents people that inhabit or interact with a certain environment. So my work is very simple in appearance, but complex in content and meaning. And it explores playful and iconic qualities through the use of form, proportion, material, color, as well as historic, conceptual, and cultural references. So the next few images are going to be of models, sketches, and public full-scale installations that show my interest in architecture being an outcome and therefore a representation of life and culture. So I wanted to start with the models. The model on the left is for the communist building, NIE. Nie means no in Polish. On the right is firehouse. Passion sets this house on fire, and it is inspired by the story by Laura Esquivel from her book Like Water for Chocolate. And the story was about this young woman who madly fell in love with a general. And it was back in the day, and she wanted to take a shower in this outdoor wooden structure. And while she was taking the shower, her body was giving off so much heat that the wooden walls of the shower began to split and burst into flames. This woman desperately needed a man. Zari, this is designed for office building, and this abstract form combines signage and architecture. Star scrapers, office buildings. With this project, I wanted to comment on the trend of having star architects design star buildings. And I wanted to know what would be the ultimate star building's shape. And I decided to be very literal and design star buildings, presented as female and male version. Next few images are from the zine called Architectures with Character. And I work on this publication with a few artists, and we were inspired by the simple form of industrial and vernacular architecture. Those two completely opposing architectural languages have one thing in common. The shape of the building is informed directly by the use and material. But through repurposing, adding graphic elements, stories, advertisements, commentaries, we created a project that became a sarcastic commentary on the contemporary human condition. So on the left is Service Bureau Headquarters Incorporated. It is located on 100 Service Park Drive in Suite 900. And for lease information, you can contact Mark Kessler. On the right, Ponies Gentleman's Resort. And I wanted to read a commentary for this image. This paradise on earth is finished being remodeled, and I was told new wiring and other safety code improvements have been made. We want to thank our loyal patrons and everyone who is helping us create this new chapter in the continuing story of Pose. We also want to thank 91.7 WJAX and the Elk Daily Free Press. Thanks, Jerry. XOXO. On the left, residency for Sean, who works full-time at Kinko's and part-time at Target. His interests are movies, books, and playing online poker, and his favorite type of food is breakfast. And on the right, the design for the organization called the Charitable Order of the Board Trinity Club. And I would like to read a commentary for this one as well. We hold meetings every third Wednesday of the month. Our events are free and open to the public. Stop in and see us. To visit the Charitable Order gun range or visit our gift shop, contact Brian Brinsley at 549-8762. Oh, Nedra and Nestor's House of Sleep gets really great reviews online, like this one. It's a comfortable atmosphere, and I always enjoy my stay, not to mention Nestor's hilarious stories and jokes, like the one about the shy beaver. Haha, I'll have to use that one at work. See you guys soon. Jeff Arnoldson. Not a commentary for this project. I felt this staff was a little too friendly, and it made us sort of uncomfortable. I think next time we will try one of the hostels closer to the beach. and was posted by Anonymous. And on the right is the renovation for a mixed-use residential. It was built in 1968 and fully renovated in 1986, and I think it shows. This next slide shows the rendering for the tallest skyscraper in the world. In fact, it is so tall that proper context for this building is a skyscape. And the model for this proposed skyscraper was exhibited at the Elaine Gallery in Detroit. And architectural model is typically built to study complicated aspects of the design and communicate this design to the larger public. And the reason for constructing such an oversized model is that it served as a scaled representation of the building so tall that to accurately represent it, the model itself needed to be of these grand dimensions. And skyscrapers are the building type that represent a civilization that produces them. There are ambitions of clients and businessmen and architects and builders, and there are as well as dreams and visions and aspirations of cultures. They are considered, they represent the economic status of the society. The top of my proposed skyscraper incorporates letters H and I, which function as signage. Hi is a verbal greeting. And placed on the top of the tallest building ever produces a sarcastic commentary. You would never be able to see the top of this building. And in the gallery space, this project kind of mimicked its intended function for the real world. It had a dominating presence. It was centrally positioned in the space, tying both floors of the gallery together. And while commenting on the ambitions of the civilization, it was also my ambition to build the tallest and the most dominating project I could. So this project measured 20 feet tall, and you could see it from every single corner of the gallery space. Another project is Cloudgate. It is placed in Detroit, and it is inspired by the shape of the cloud. The cloud is a symbol of change, but this structure is clad with 100-year-old barnwood, which retained its rich patina and character imprinted by weathering conditions. And it shows traces of tool cuts, nail holes, and the residue of use. And I think that that material, that barnwood, kind of reminds us of the collaborative effort of the community that was involved in building the barn. And this project was indeed an effort of the community. A lot of people are involved in the building process, from design, construction, transportation, to raising it and celebrating it. And it is placed in the abandoned area of Detroit, which is transformed into urban farms. And I think that energy of the do-it-yourself culture of Detroit allowed this project to happen through the support and physical help of the community. And now this project serves as a landmark for this farm, trying to help transform the abandoned area into a little bit more welcoming destination. I am interested in projects that involve people and projects that can somehow represent these people. And I think building in general, the building is an outcome of the social context in which the building happens, and the complex relationships of people that are involved in the building process. And of course, to build a building, the architects and planners and clients and sponsors, they create relationships that exchange knowledge, debate, in order to build the building. So it is through those conditions that the building can happen. And I think it was also for this involvement and relationships that projects that I'm presenting here today could exist in a certain environment. So another project that received involvement from the community was Confetti Tower. And here are a few shots from the process of moving the tower to the location from my studio. And I think people became part of this project through the shared experience and mutual goal, and kind of created memories, and they made this project their own. And sometimes they showed a lot of dedication, some blood. And the shape of this tower is inspired by the exhaust pipe. And instead of hiding it on the back of the building like exhaust pipes usually are, I wanted to expose it on the most prominent side, which is usually an entrance to the significant building. And instead of blowing hot air, it blows confetti. With this project, I pursue playfulness and explore character. And as a result, the structure appears human-like and ready for motion. And the pose it strikes politely welcomes the visitors, and when activated, the blast of confetti engages public in the celebration. And the purpose for this project was to excite, welcome, and surprise the viewer. It was exhibited in 2 different locations, and this is in Grand Rapids in front of Fountain Street Church in Michigan. And it was a busy crossroad, and the characteristics of this site allowed public to become direct activators. So the tower responded to touch, to noise, to amount of people standing in front of it or passing under it. And the city environment magnified that sense of the unexpected excitement, and people were interacting with the project and with each other. And I also had a remote controller, and I was able to activate it whenever I felt it was the right time. And so I was able to trick people and play with them, and really it made people very excited and left them with a lot of sense of mystery, actually. People were trying to activate the project, so they were screaming and jumping in front of it, passing under it several times, and hugging the columns of the structure, or even kicking it. And they were trying to come back several times during the day to find out what makes this confetti blow, and really just left them with questions. The Fountain Street Church members helped me to organize the confetti tower painting workshop, and kids and teenagers and adults decorated the tower with images that actually represented the intended function of the tower. So as a result, the images were of happiness, playfulness, declarations of love, and best things in life, like ice cream cones falling in one's mouth on the left. And even adults enjoy themselves. And after the exhibition ended, the painted panels were taken off and auctioned off during one of the church's events. And the profits were donated to the organization of young activists who actually used that money to go to New Orleans to help rebuild the city there. So I wanted to, through those projects and through stories and critique and commentaries, I wanted to focus on the part of the fundamental part of architecture, which is people. And I think people constitute the very essence of the space that create an experience, giving it a specific form, character, and meaning. Thank you.